Hi guys, this is Breaker SC2, and I am back with more TESL replays. This one I did actually happen to see played out before my very own eyes at the TESL studio. However, I do forget how the results of these games went. So, hopefully I'll still be able to maintain the element of surprise with this cast, guys. But without further ado, go ahead and give it up for... DS Rush. Playing up against, I would say, a very strong opponent in the lower right-hand corner of Alterzim's Stronghold. He is...
DSvsSlam.
And of course, this is basically just going to be a super duper fancy VOD, if you will. There's no getting around that. It is being, I guess you could say, rebroadcasted to the front page of teamliquid.net if you want to put it in that regards. But as it is right now with my present sleep schedule and everything else in between, I'm doing the best that I can to try and bring you guys this content with only the best of quality in mind. Now already we can see that the probe from Demon Sheep has arrived at the... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man, it's arrived at the main of Slam, and he's actually throwing down a forge, and he's hidden that probe just now. And Slam is actually sending that drone out to the lower left-hand corner, and it's going to go to the upper left after that, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe if he's lucky, that Overlord will come in and see the forge in construction, but I mean, right now, there it is, a pylon going down, but wait a minute, this Overlord's going to see that. And now he's just pretending he doesn't see it, but of course he does still see it. The question is, why hasn't he reacted by pulling drones or anything like that? Maybe he simply got the line of thinking that, you know, I've got this, bro. That's probably what he's thinking. But I mean, ultimately, yeah, there we go. He should be basically pulling drones to deal with that right now. That pylon's days are limited. What? That pylon's days are limited, right? Okay, whatever. Well, let's see, nothing's been lost so far. And Demon Sheep's just gonna keep on that one pylon with the drone there. Uh-oh, but we got two... Wait a minute, two cannons were just queued up. Then they were canceled. Okay. Boom, full pylon wall off right there. This is not good for Slam at all. I mean, the pylons there, I think one or two of them might fall, but honestly, the pylons on the low ground, this is very much so looking like, I think, game number 1 or 2 between Jaedong and Slam. And it's starting to look all the more disgusting, one could say, because of the present condition of things. The cannons are finishing right now, and it looks like the Lings are going to get shut down. Unfortunately, some of those Lings were actually focusing down the pylon here instead of going for that one cannon, and it looks like this Overlord might live? No, it's not going to. Okay. Well, this is definitely some hot water that we see Slam in right now. So how does he react? He's going to his opponent's main right now. He sees that there's a cannon in construction right now, so he's not going to bother with that. Especially given the fact that that wall-off can be made so easily. There is one cannon that's unpowered right now. These pylons' days are limited with that spine crawler in construction. And it looks like now the natural, I guess you could call it here, is probably forsaken. It would definitely be a good idea for Slam to go ahead and maybe go ahead and take this one because, of course, it's outside of attack range. There's a spine crawler to prevent any Lings from going in, but I mean, or it can be a spine crawler to prevent any probes from going in there and setting up a cannon rush. But honestly, this is forfeit right now. I think you should just focus on droning up, using that spine crawler to poke around and cause some damage, and then get a base rebuilt over here. But presently, look at the worker count. It is spiraling out of control for Demon Sheep Rush, which is what DS Rush stands for, guys. I just didn't say it initially at the beginning because, well, yeah, just didn't feel like it. And that's 2 probes he just donated to the cause of DSvsSlam. So he's trying to land that spine crawler right there. See if he can get rid of this one pylon. And I don't think Slam can do that. I think cannons have the same attack range as spine crawlers, excuse me. Do they? Yeah, 7 and 7. Oh, so it's all a game of trickery, essentially. And, I mean, I know that if a pylon is on the low ground, it can't warp in anything on the high ground. That's a huge difference between Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. But I'm not sure if it can unpower anything that's on the high ground. Or I'm not sure if it can power anything that's on the high ground. That's something I'm not entirely aware of. But doesn't matter, the probe here from Demon Sheep is just going to come back and throw down another pylon. Maybe the main will be a different story, who knows. But definitely right now we can see that Demon Sheep has a secure lead. 19 probes, a little bit supply blocked, actually. You know, I mean, we can see some mistakes here and there, but no one's perfect. Unless maybe we're Soul Key or Jaedong. That other Spinecrawler is going to come up here and throw itself to get rid of that one pylon, and I don't know if that's going to work out or not. Oh, there it is. Okay, I guess, I don't know. Alright, it's a little difficult to say, but I think those... Well, let's just wait for this pylon to show up because I'm not entirely versed with how this works. Anyway, Slam's gone ahead and taken his third behind this. There's a Twilight Council and a gateway on the way. So I'm thinking with the number of gateways that we have right now, we are more likely to see... what's the word I'm looking for? We're more likely to see, I think, DTs coming out of Demon Sheep, and that would definitely be a very strong attack for him to execute, to be perfectly honest with you guys. If you check the worker count right now, everything else in between, I think Slam maybe reacted a little bit too quickly by going for that third out here at the 6 o'clock-ish position. And now you can see on the low ground there are actually units coming in and getting ready for the kill. And he should know, just by the amount of warp-ins that are coming at him, it should be to the tune of DTs. Look at that. Dark Shrine. Okay, well, it's feasible that he'll be able to take down these cannons, definitely, especially given the fact that he has no vision up here just yet, but it looks like the Spine Crawlers are out of position to defend against these Stalkers and Zealots, and now it looks like they're repositioning just a little bit too late. Drones are being pulled right now. Time Warp going down on top of both of these Queens. He wants to do his best to keep those alive, and now we've got the Dark Shrine about 30 seconds away from finishing. Demon Sheep getting really overzealous with this attack. It looks like the Spine Crawlers are doing too much damage to the gateway units. However, that was a nice little trap there coming from Demon Sheep. He baited out both the Queens. That means basically no injects at the natural, and that's going to make a huge difference in getting units out on the field. But Slam doesn't really have the economy to get units out right now. Here we go, the third. Lings coming from the third is actually what I wanted to say, but now that's a lot of Zealots coming in. Meanwhile, the Dark Shrine is complete, guys. So, and since there's no detection here, that's a lot of damage we're going to see Slam take. If not, just lose the game outright. Those Spine Crawlers are so ace right there. Now 16 more Lings on the way, but the first two DTs have entered the battlefield, and oh no. He wants those pylons out of commission, but he's not going to get this one out here in the backward area, but now, there it is. That just little sound that no one wants to hear. This is not good. Alright, doing his best to keep that Spore Crawler alive. If it goes down, then that's basically curtains for Slam, but I mean, the 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock position third is, you know, that's basically forfeit anyway. Detection does finish at both the natural and the main, but I mean, look at this. This isn't pretty at all. He's just lost both of his spine. Well, I wouldn't say both, but he's gonna come close to losing both. And the natural right now, there's nothing to defend here. There's just detection. There's a queen. There was a queen, excuse me, who taught me to speak English. And it looks like, ouch. Jeez, that Spore's gonna fall in. Slam just knows what he's up against, so he just typed out GG and left the game. Alright, guys. Don't go away. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then after that, game number 2 between Demon Sheep and Slam.